Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about nice to haves when it comes to podcast gear. Totally non-essentials, but things that have made my life way easier. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Rich Cardona. I'm a podcast producer. I've had a podcast that's been downloaded millions of times, and we do that for our clients as well. And I figure out tech stuff all the time because I'm 43 and it's a pain. I feel like such a boomer trying to figure all this stuff out. But if I could figure it out and it helps you, I want to do it. So let's start with the first thing, which is this remote right here. This is for a Canon. I know they have them for other ones, but this is a Bluetooth remote for that camera. And if I press it, it'll stop right now, like this. So the reason I have this is because if you script your videos or your podcast or anything like that, and you want to record an intro and you're doing it on video, getting up and pressing it and then going to sit down and then looking at the screen to make sure everything looks okay is a complete pain. If you're putting this video podcast on YouTube and you need to do your thumbnails right after you've recorded your video and you have the ideas, you could switch it to camera mode and you could take pictures, multiple pictures. I do it all the time. So don't forget. So this one is the BRE1 for Canons. It works fantastic, and I would much rather sit there or stand right here and press it to start and stop than get up and have to do it over and over. The second non-essential item, I know the lighting's crazy, but it's all good, is this. This is actually a gift. It looks like a lens, but it's actually a mug and my espresso's in it right now, which is why I'm so hyped up for you. So let's get on to some of the stuff right here. Right here we have my Canon camera, and on top of it I have the audio interface. And audio interface is 9 times out of 10 used when you're gonna record a podcast. So you can see the XLR cable coming out of it. This I'll explain in a second, and this I'll explain in a second. I just want to give you a closer look. And by the way, so this is a new studio I just got here in North Carolina, so it is crazy, but when I was starting to look at the feasibility of everything, I just felt like compelled to have to share this stuff with you. So here what we got is a Zoom F3, and it has the ability to get 2 XLR cables in there. You would use something like this for that short microphone right over there. Okay, you need an XLR cable for it. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of people use batteries. There's no batteries in this right now. Now, I have it kind of jerry-rigged right now. I had to get another part, but this is plugged in. Now, again, this does not have batteries in it. I have it AC powered, and let's go ahead and power it on. Okay, there you go. So it's totally functional. It's being powered off AC power. The reason this is a benefit and a nice to have for you is because you don't ever want to run out of battery. Okay, so I AC power a lot of things. Now that's just the first thing. The second thing is that I have this line out, okay? This line is going out and it's going into the camera, okay? Now, actually, let me just show you the Instagram reel I made about it. So I'm gonna show you how to make video with this, but with sound from this. You'll need your camera with a mic port. You will need a 3.5mm TRS cable. You will need your audio interface with a line out. You will also need a power source. This is just my preference, a power source for the Zoom recorder or your audio interface. This is optional, it's a mount, so I could mount this to the camera. You will need your XLR cable for your mic. All I've done so far is connect the XLR cable from the microphone to the Zoom recorder. The power's already on for the Zoom recorder, the power's on for the camera, and then I just mounted it right there. Right, and then all I got to do is plug in one end into the line out, one end into the mic. I'm going to make sure my camera is on manual for sound. I got the sound from here going into the camera, and we are done. Here's how it looks. So there is a microphone, XLR cable coming up here. It's going into the Zoom. The Zoom is connected to the camera, so that camera is going to get that audio, and that's what we want. All right, another nice to have. So we have this softbox here so I could be nice and well lit, as you can see. But this thing right here, this C-stand, is a little bit heavy and a pain. So what you want is wheels, okay? Wheels. I got wheels for both of the C-stands, and it just makes life way easier. Watch this. Okay, if I want to change angles and I want to do another part of the studio, then I could do this. I could adjust the lighting so much easier than having to pick this up and move it. So moving this around has been so much better. I could do anything I want, and voila. So I have it on both of them, and that allows me to be way more mobile with where I want to go within the studio. So if you have a space and you want to do that, and you need to adjust your lighting because you want to get a little bit more creative with backdrops or where you're sitting, wheels will save you a ton of time. By the way, all this stuff is going to be in the description. If you have not subscribed and you're getting value in any way, shape, or form, please do me a favor, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get more videos like this. A nice to have is a monopod. I can pick this camera up and go anywhere I want, and it's gonna support the weight. Now, this is a huge benefit because to me, it's just one pole, just 3 snaps I need to adjust up and down. Mostly it's usually tripods, and everyone has these big, thick Manfrotto tripods, and they just don't need them. And if you want to be mobile, which is important to me if you're recording a podcast or having different setups, this is going to just take up so much less room and be so less cumbersome. That's the word I keep thinking of when it comes to a lot of the stuff I'm trying to minimize. So a monopod is going to run you a lot less, and it's going to be way easier, and it's going to have a much smaller footprint that I think you will like. It's a nice to have. All right, if you are sitting at your desk too often and you need to get your 10,000 steps in like I do, you could get a walking pad. I'm just kidding, you don't need that, but I do it. 2 things I want to cover here. I used to have the nice tall Rode boom arm, but I love this low profile boom arm from, I believe it is Black Magic. It's just, I don't know, I don't have to go up and down that much. It's just feels way simpler, and I love it. This thing is a nice to have as well. I will have to find the company and put it, I know they're in the UK, so if you're watching from the UK, you guys are awesome, but this thing stands out. It's not your typical Shure microphone cover, and that will help differentiate yourself from everyone else. All right, we are now at the back of my camera. So suppose I'm podcasting at my desk. This guy right here is a Canon dummy battery, okay? And I have that plugged in so that way I never ever have to worry about losing power. I never want to run out of battery when I'm with clients because chances are, even if I had the chargers, it would take way too long to charge it and do anything with it at that point. So AC battery with regular batteries as a backup. Now I'm about to get into that desk arm, but I used to use this. And the reason that was a pain for me was because that is a standing desk. I like to sit and I like to stand, and I needed something that would just go with up and down with the desk, not something I had to adjust. So let's get into it. Okay, now this is a desktop arm, and I have not come across one like it before, which I absolutely love. It's from a brand called Raubay, R-A-U-B-A-Y. So first of all, this is just perfect as it is, but I can unscrew a little bit. Well, actually I have this unhinged a little bit, and I'm gonna unhinge a little bit here. And this extends, okay? So this already can be for photography, if you need to do an overhead shot or anything along those lines. I could fold it here, I could do anything I need. And now, from that point, if I want to actually go higher than what it is, and I'm tightening it up right now, give me a sec. If I need to go higher, I unscrew and I could go higher here, okay? Go higher here, okay? So it's super mobile, and then obviously one of the best parts is the ball head, so I can switch immediately to short form if I want. I could do anything I need. I could have this peeking around the corner, I could have it over there, I could do all kinds of different creative things with this desktop mic arm, so I highly recommend it. I don't remember how much it was, but I'll put it in the comments. It was very affordable and definitely better than being on a tripod behind. Having the agility and the ability to be creative with your shots is going to lead to you imagining different things. If it's stationary, that's all you're gonna think. So all the people who make their YouTube videos or podcasts sitting at the same desk, doing the same thing from the same angle, I'm not down with that, so I wanted to invest in this. Now this is also a nice to have. It is a Smallrig mounting device. If I wanted to use this screen and mount it onto my camera, I could definitely use this to mount it. It is precisely how I mounted this recorder there. It's super easy. Another nice to have is this dongle for your iPhone. Let's go to the reel and check that out. Okay, this is a little meta, but I was just on a podcast and I had this camera set up recording me while I was on that podcast so I could use it for short form clips. Now the problem is, like, anytime I ever try and connect via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth from my camera to my phone, it's a disaster. So this is what I do now. So if you're an Apple iPhone user, I got this little device right here where I'm able to insert my SD card, and then I plug it right into my phone, and then eventually all I need to do is go to files and they will be in there. The SD card shows up in my files, and then I can go and there my content will be, and then I could transfer it right over to CapCut from there or any editing software. This saves me from having to go onto my computer and to editing software. If I just want to make my clean cuts right now, I can, and it's seamless. So if you have not done that and you're an iPhone user, I guarantee this is going to make your life a lot easier than relying on a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connection to get those files onto here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and plug it in. Okay, and then I'm going to go to search and I'll go to files. If I go to files, it's actually going to pop up right there. It's going to say, this one says 128 gigabyte RCM, Rich Cardona Media, our former name. And then the folders are going to show up. So the folders are going to show up and I could go in there and I could go see my files are sitting right there. I select them, save them to my camera roll, and just like that, whatever is on this card, whether it was an audio file or video file, it goes directly to your phone. If you want to do something quick, if you want to edit it on CapCut, you have the ability to not wait and get to a computer. You could do it right on your phone. And the last nice to have for now is this little guy right here. Whether it's this, a flathead screwdriver, or having a nickel on hand, these plates on the bottom of cameras or your audio device always come loose pretty easily. So if you have something like this, I could go here and I could tighten it up so where it won't move. And then obviously if I want to get it loose, I could do that. Okay, but having a screwdriver or this little wrench right here or a nickel is just going to be something that's great to have. I'm trying to do this with one hand. There we go. All right, you get the point. So look, hopefully this provided you some value. These are nice to have. I'm all about mobility and simplicity, so AC power so I don't run out of battery. Wheels so I could be mobile. A monopod because it's easier to put away and it's very, very mobile. Screwdriver so I don't have to worry about the mount coming loose. A red podcast microphone cover so I could stand out. A desk arm that has a lot of possibilities to allow me to get into my creativity and imagination. So the list goes on, but thank you for joining. I'm sure I will do something a little bit more comprehensive and maybe a little bit nicer, but I was in the moment and wanted to just get it to you while I could and record this. So thank you so much for joining. If you want to check out our series on how to podcast, we have a ton of information that I believe is going to be super valuable for you. Go check it out.